Right, Danny Parslow, who is the best player you've ever played or trained with?
Um, Probably when I was a young pro at Cardiff, I was fortunate to be involved with the first team quite a bit, and at his prime, Jason Kumas was on a different level really. You just couldn't get the ball off him. Um, him and Peter Whittingham again, he was scarily good. So I'd probably go for one of those really.
If you could change one thing in football tomorrow, what would it be?
Um, Diving possibly, but I don't know how you'd ever stamp that out. I think there's so much at stake these days in football that players will push the limits and try and get an advantage to their team. But yeah, I'll probably go diving.
When you look back on your career, what's been the highlight so far?
Fortunate to have some Welsh in the 21 caps when I was a little bit younger than I am now. Winning promotion twice. Obviously, I've been fortunate to do it at Wembley, which was fantastic. Obviously at York, and having been there before earlier in the week, winning the FA Trophy as well, and then winning the conference with Cheltenham as well. So yeah, there's a few in there.
Tell us an interesting fact about Daniel Parslow that most people at York City won't already know.
Interesting. I don't know.
Nothing well, Mr. York.
I don't know. I was pretty bright at school. That's not really interesting, but I had 10 A's GCSE, A's at A level. I don't know, something like that. I've got a degree, so degree in sports science. So yeah, quite academic, but I love my football.
That leads on to the next questions. If you hadn't been a footballer, what would you be doing for a living?
Yeah, I would have maybe gone into law or something like that if I hadn't have gone full-time football when I was 16. But yeah, solicitor, law, something like that.
What do you plan to do when you eventually hang up your boots?
I'd love to stay involved in sport in some capacity. So like I said, I've got my sports science degree. So hopefully I can use all my experience I've built up over the years of being involved in football and extend my career that way.
Apart from football, what's your second favourite sport and why?
Rugby union. Growing up in South Wales, everyone's mad for rugby. I had to make a decision myself when I was 13, 14 as to which route to go down. So I chose football, but a lot of my mates still play rugby at a good level, and yeah, I always keep an eye on it.
Who's the most famous person you've ever met?
I was fortunate to meet the Olympic legend Michael Johnson, the US 400 metre runner. I was down at St George's, which was when I ruptured my ACL, so I was down there on rehab, and he was there. So yeah, it was nice to meet him, and yeah, I'd probably go with him.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Something that's been said. I mean, numerous people say it, but you just work hard, and then you can have no regrets. I think that's sort of been my motto in my career really. If you can look at yourself and know that you've given your all, given your best, then that's all you can do.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be and how would you use it?
Superpower. Cut out all lying. I can't stand liars. So yeah, I don't know how you could sort of control that, but I think deceitful people it's definitely one of my pet hates. If I find out people have lied to me or in general, I'm not the biggest fan of liars.
What's the funniest thing you've ever seen on a football field? Or heard?
Funniest thing? Goodness me. Me taking a penalty. I mean, that was quite funny. I mean, I think I was number 10 in the list, so I was well down the order. But yeah, it was playing for York against Kidderminster in the trophy, I think, and we won 13-12. So it's not really funny, but I'm sure it was for everyone else watching me take a penalty.
And finally, who's the funniest person at this football club?
Probably Parky. His broad Barnsley accent travels a mile, and he's always got something quite quick-witted to say, usually about my dress sense. I think he's deflecting a lot of the time. So yeah, I'll probably go Parky.
Daniel, thanks very much.
No problem.